Hey everyone, welcome to POPXP. And before the show starts, make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell to get notifications when we go live and we upload awesome new content. And don't forget, if you can, make sure to share our stream on all your social media outlets. We appreciate it, and thanks for helping us grow the POPXP channel. Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's the brain of the mainframe here, Nile Scala, and it's that week in pop time, people. And joining me tonight, as always, we got Jennifer Van Damsel in the house, Mr. Brian Blevins, the king of stream. We've got Caleb Thusat in the house, and premiering is the toy man, the toy chest. I want to lift his hood and see what's inside. Mr. Howie Noel. Howie, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the show.
I'm good. I'm the toy man today.
You're the toy man. Toy man. Everyone wants to play with you.
Oh no!
It
sounded like a super villain.
He's a hardcore toy collector. That's what the HC stands for. Is hardcore.
Hardcore. Oh shoot! Hardcore toy collector. Yes, yes.
Was that really? You're really setting me up for a win. I'm set up for a win on this show.
You can only win on this show.
Yeah, there's no losers on this show.
No,
I can tell you right now. Every week, Jen's like, I can't wait till Friday.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
She can't wait till it's over.
It's a score. I know. She's like, I can't wait till it's over. She's like, I'm gonna figure out how to do all this crap, and I'm busting out of here soon. Couple more shows. So how was everyone's week? How's everyone's week, Jen? How was your week? What did we do? What's happening in the Van Damsel world?
I don't know, just like normal working stuff. Do like lots of shoots. Did like a 12-hour day the other day.
Crazy.
Yeah, just hoe things. No big deal.
Nothing. Incredible.
Absolutely
incredible.
Hardest working person on this panel.
Well, what do you have what's going on though? You've got new product out, right? New photo shoots and everything that are actually like out for people.
I started doing commissions, so that's been keeping me like really busy.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Like photo commissions?
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
Dude, that's very unique. I have not ever heard that.
How does that work? Do they like tell you like cosplay, what type of cosplay or something like that they want?
Yeah, or just like random like outfits or like makeup style. It's just kind of like a way for me to get ideas of like new shoots, maybe stuff that I hadn't ever like thought to do before. People choose like certain lightings. I thought about opening up to like artists to do like pose reference or lighting reference.
Oh, nice.
Like have lots of wigs and different outfits. So being able to like mimic certain fabric styles or whatever that we would want to use as reference. So
cool.
It's been interesting.
Have you gotten any like really weird requests that you're just like, yeah, no thanks. No, thank you.
Most of I don't know if you should even talk about this on YouTube. I might have to edit this out. But most of the stuff is like, so you did this one shoot once in this hotel room. Like you were in this bed, but can you like, do that like some more? And my biggest thing is like people don't want to pay. I'm like, okay, so you want me to do like the implied nude photo shoot and you only want to pay me like $20, and it's like for you personally, like it's actually a really great pleasure of mine to like turn down people's really shitty offers. I like get a lot of satisfaction out of being like, you can't afford
very powerful to be able to be like, no.
Yeah, no, thank you. You can keep your money. It's not worth it.
Nice.
Oh man.
Well, I'm always looking to make an easy buck. If you want to throw them my way, I'm good with it.
Nile takes the best semi-nude pictures from what I heard.
And you can sell your lingerie after the shoot.
Yeah,
too. Double dip on that.
Lingerie now.
Gosh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
How we need to do that after every show. We'll
we don't
season
have
it up
lingerie,
and ship it out.
but yeah.
I have some you can borrow.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, if we can borrow some of her lingerie, that's fine. I don't have.
Yeah, he has his own wigs though, so thank good you don't have to let him borrow those.
Who's got wigs?
Nile.
Okay.
Nile has like 7 wigs.
I wanted to double check that.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? I like to look good. Blevins, man. How's your week going, bro?
Man, my week has been a roller coaster ride, mostly all because of movies. So like I started off this week, I got a package Sorority Babes and Slimeball Bolorama.
That's a classic.
On 4K from Mondo, which was a movie that scared me as a kid. I kid you not, it scared me as a kid. But they had limited editions Steelbook, and I have no idea why that movie scared me as a kid. It was one of those, late night movies on USA, that you
Up All Night with Ron Shear
would not have liked me watching. And then I got a 4K release of Some Kind of Wonderful, which is like one of my favorite movies. Tears me up every time. Cry like a baby. It's ridiculous. Then of course we had the Snyder Cut, which came out, which to be honest with you, I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome, especially comparatively speaking from what we got years ago compared to what they did now. Of course, they had a template of what didn't work. So, it makes it a lot easier to make something that's better. And then, of course, I woke up like really early this morning so I could watch Winter Soldier Falcon, which, all the previews showed that it was supposed to be this specific thing for the first episode, but it wasn't. So I was pleasantly surprised by it. It caught me off guard. And I really like being surprised by something that's really, really good. So yeah, but comic books were all messed up, so I didn't get to watch any comic books. And then earlier this morning, they announced on Mighty Ducks Game Changers that they are bringing some of the older Mighty Ducks back. So you got Connie and Guy, Kenny Wu, Fulton, and Adam Banks and Averman all coming back. So yeah, when the wind blows hard and the sky is black, man, ducks fly together. So I can't wait.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool to
Yeah,
come back in. We gotta call our old boy Adam, man. We gotta get the Popped or Not reviews.
We do.
Falcon Winter Soldier going. I'm gonna watch that tonight.
It was really good. Definitely not what I expected, but man, it's a whole nother. It's a different vibe from what WandaVision was, which I think is great, but it's very intense from a psychological standpoint.
Nice.
So
yeah, awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Caleb, man, what's going on? What's going on in Village Comics?
Just putting books together, getting art in, all that good stuff. Kind of stepped back from writing this week because I did a lot last week and started putting some pieces together to get these books going. And that's it. Buying some stuff for Kickstarter rewards and all that good stuff. So, keeping busy any way I can. Aside from, watching a 3-year-old, which keeps you busy enough. But
Definitely. So Miss H.C. Knoll, what is going on in your neck of the woods? And let's not talk Snyder Cut.
No, I'm not allowed
because
to.
we have a time limit.
Yes, and due to YouTube comments, I'm not allowed to.
I don't need another strike from you.
I am just drawing and working and trying to stay on this planet. And I don't want to depress anybody.
That's a bit depressed. What's going on? We got viewers here.
You set me up as the toy guy, so I want to eat.
You're the toy guy, but you're also the Dick Tracy guy. You've been putting some awesome images up this week with your own characters, your original villains for Dick Tracy as part of the Rogue Gallery.
Yeah,
dude, Matchstick was amazing. I just got to tell you,
Matchstick.
Me and Nile talked about this. Matchstick was absolutely phenomenal. Looks like he belongs there and should have been there forever.
Yeah, but Tribune doesn't own him, so I can sell prints of him.
That's right.
That's the best thing about the ones I make, that I can sell prints of them, because I get asked for prints all the time, and I'm trying to walk the line. Because Dick Tracy is a police officer, so I don't want to do bootlegs, and I keep getting asked for bootlegs. But if anybody wants a Matchstick, you can get a Matchstick print, and it's just I got asked a lot for original characters. It was funny. I do Q&As every Sunday or Saturday on Instagram, and one of the popular requests is, do I create any original characters? Because in that thing, because it's a Dick Tracy Rogues Gallery, the account is specifically Dick Tracy. A lot of people have no idea that I do like books like Paranormal or Float. They have no idea that anything else I do. It's a very insular thing, and it's all about Dick Tracy. So I create characters all the time in my mind, and I just started drawing them this week, original ones, and they really, really like them. and that was great to see. So it's fun to share something original on a site on a platform that what I'm doing with it is basically a tribute to this thing. So, a tribute to a property that's already happening, like Dick Tracy. So yeah, we've got Matchstick, we've got Granite, and we've got Crack Up. Crack Up has a shattered face because he was shot in it, but somehow he didn't die. He was shot right in the eye, but it just cracked.
Also, you got Crybaby.
Crybaby is today's.
Yes.
And, Crybaby is exactly what you think. And it was, I didn't say this, but it was secretly inspired. It's not even really secret, but it was inspired by the Dick Tracy album by Madonna. She has a song called Crybaby. And that's where the inspiration comes from.
Great. Now Madonna's going to want to get a piece of it. Thanks.
She can have a piece of anything from me she wants. I'm always welcome for Madonna to call me up.
But seriously, stylistically, of all the characters you've created, just the composition and creation of Matchstick, I think, was just excellent.
Yeah, he really.
The hair, the idea behind it. I mean. It was.
He looked like a matchstick.
Yeah. I definitely think that it is the best one of the created characters that I've seen in the last little bit. So
cool.
I'm a huge fan of Matchstick.
Yeah. Well, keep it up. You got to keep up the whole Dick Tracy stuff. And speaking of 100%. Dick Tracy,
I'll keep up the Dick Tracy.
Keep up the Dick tracing. Yeah. Keep up the Dick tracing, and hopefully we'll get some submittals in. That'll work.
You're not even trying. You just do it.
You just do it.
Cut that out.
Anyways, speaking of Dick Tracy, though, I got good news today. Mike Curtis is willing to partake in our 90 years of Dick Tracy. So we're going to be recording that special at some point this year. But we'll be getting a bunch of guys that, contributed to the comic books, the strips, many different things. And we're going to get that whole special organized, which is going to be awesome. So that'll be some cool beans.
Yeah. You'll be able to watch it live, Howie.
I know. You'll watch it live, Howie. Just don't say anything.
You'll get the comment from the chats. It'll be great.
He's going to leave me a text later saying, hey, man, it was just for the radio.
So we got a great show. We got a great show for everyone tonight. We're going to be talking some great things. We've got Ross Richie in the house. He's going to be coming in to talk to us about Boom. He's the CEO and founder of Boom Studios, Berserker, Keanu Reeves book that just kind of took the world by storm. They've been crushing it with their Power Rangers comics and so many other comics. And they've also landed that great deal with Netflix. Exclusive 10 titles will be going into production with them. They have the first right of refusal. So to jump into it, guys, I mean, for a little TV talk, did you guys check out the South Park vaccination special? It's a parody, right? But it wasn't a parody.
Yeah.
This is actually real life
parody that there was.
The most realistic parody. Funny points like Walgreens or your CVS pharmacies, whatever you want to call them, being almost like that club you can't get into. But besides that, it was pretty much like actual real life.
Yeah, I just find it very funny because I was like, oh, this was just real life. Like in real life, it's not funny right now. So yeah,
oh shit,
it was sad.
It's I feel like that's always kind of been what South Park has tried to do, though. I mean, they're skirting reality with their sick humor, but at the same time, like a lot of that stuff is actually going on. It's they play it up with the QAnon, the little cuties or whatever that's in there.
Cuties,
but I mean, the comparison of what's going on with the kids versus each other is very much what is actually going on. So it's I can understand why somebody wouldn't think it's funny. But
I mean, like I enjoyed South Park a lot. I just thought I watched the pandemic episode like right before that, and I thought that one was hilarious. I absolutely loved the pandemic episode. So then going and watching the vaccine special was like not as funny. It was more like, okay, this is a lot closer to real life.
Yeah. Well, it's like because they do parodies and they're pretty funny and they do a good job. But this one, I was just like, I don't think I really like even cracked a smile. I was just I
think that was the joke. That was
Well, that's what I said. Did they do this on purpose? Like because it just wasn't funny.
Yeah.
You know, and then the whole Mr. Garrison thing coming back, you know, and acting like everything's normal. And every time he looked at me, he's like, yeah, I'm a gay man shopping. Like, it's just that whole take on like Trump and he's not president anymore. And it's just like, you know, all this stuff happened, yet no one's acknowledging anything. And I'm just like, none of this is funny. I was actually really disappointed in this episode.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know,
I thought it was funny because it's a reflection of what this is. Like, the reality is ridiculous right now, and someone to point it out and show you, like, as it's like a mirror of what these people are actually doing. Like, I don't know. I think it's kind of, to me, I actually kind of thought it was a little funny because I'm like, in a sick way, it's like it's good to laugh at how stupid reality is right now. Maybe it's healthy to laugh at it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it was their way of getting the word out, because a lot of people don't understand what the reality is right now.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's still.
I mean, there were like funny concepts to it. It's just it wasn't like South Park to me didn't deliver like they normally do.
Yeah, the pandemic episode, I was laughing pretty much like the whole time. But then this vaccination special, I was like, okay, that's humorous, but I don't think I actually like laughed. And I love South Park, so for me to like not really laugh at it was kind of like different.
You know, it is kind of crazy because if y'all don't know this, you know that I'm on the city council here. Like, I got voted in this year.
Yeah, you're a mayor. We get it.
You were voted in this year.
You're the most popular mayor.
I haven't heard that from you.
Yeah. So I'm on the city council, and they contacted me, and they're just like, "Hey, look, you know, Mr. Blevins, like we have your shot available. If you want to come get it, we'll set you up for the follow up shot." And I was like, I didn't say anything about setting up a shot, and they're like, "No, like because you're part of an elected official, like we have a shot specifically set aside. Like we have this already set up for you."
I think you told us this story last week.
Did I tell it last week? Maybe, yeah. I think I said it maybe off camera. I don't know. We can cut it out if I did, but it's
Nile?
just. I mean, they're still contacting me about it, which is just crazy. And it's kind of how
that's legit. It might just
because they want you to take it, man.
Yeah, it might.
They want to put the tracker in
it. And I'm just like kind of not wanting to take it.
What if it's a heroin dealer? Yeah. And he's like, "This is the vaccine."
Well,
but
I don't understand why everyone's
so Wouldn't that be crazy? That's good marketing.
Because mine was like, they keep saying shot, but I didn't get a shot.
What if it has nanobots in it?
It was a suppository.
Oh, that was.
I don't think you went to the right place.
Yeah, I think you got conned.
I woke up and my nails were done. It was wonderful.
You know what? It's really not that bad. At least you had that.
I know. I got my nails done. But anyway, South Park. I didn't think it was as funny as it could have been.
Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
But Caleb thinks it was funny.
I thought it was funny.
It had its moments.
Maybe I just needed to laugh at the stupidity because I'm sick of looking at it. So maybe I needed someone to make fun of it a little bit. So
yeah, I hear you. Reality is stupid right now. It's freaking stupid, especially when you try to help an old friend try to get a figure, right? And it's a pre-order, and it says you can buy it, and then when you buy it, it says it's sold out.
Thanks, Target.
Thanks a lot, Target. We tried to land the deal for Howie. It didn't come through.
Well, they made the Henry Cavill red and blue suit. Because that's weird in the Snyderverse. It's weird to have Henry Cavill look like Superman normally. He's the exclusive figure, and of course they give it to Target, and you can't get it unless you were on Instagram watching 24/7. And shockingly, I had stuff to do one of those days. Even though I am on Instagram 24.
That's crazy. You sent me a message. He's like, this is what sucks when you're like into toys. And I clicked on the link and it's like, you can pre-order. And it like went into my cart and everything.
Yeah.
Then I was like, does he want me to just order it for him? So I waited.
Yes.
Then he responded. I was like, all right. So I went to it and boom, sold out. We missed it. We missed the opportunity.
Where's my little Henry? I know. Yeah. So on May 30th, I have to stock the stores and try to find Henry.
I'll look as well for you. Okay.
You might find him.
Yeah, McFarlane Toys, man. It's crazy though now, because now that you don't have the toy stores and stuff, like all these other department stores now are carrying like all these other lines. Like you were never getting McFarlane toys in like Targets and Walmarts and stuff.
The
and
exclusives are what, exclusives is what kills it. Exclusives are they're a nightmare. It makes you, the G.I. Joe thing was infamous. G.I. Joes are exclusive. The retro, there's certain ones exclusive, like the Viper, and these figures are exclusive to Target, and it's a nightmare. And like you've got scalpers showing up to the stores right when they open to grab them all and then sell them right on eBay. Yeah. And I think what happened is with this pandemic is the scalpers from concerts went to toys. And I'm not even joking, because I saw people that were not into toys in aisles right next to me. They go on their phone and they look up what they're worth and they grab them.
Really?
I've seen it too. Yeah.
Yep. They're not touching the, which is funny, the $50 Grimlock figure in my town, though. they don't want to gamble on the $50 Transformer, but they'll grab any $20 figure.
I wish they did it like back in the day with the big trench coat, and like as you're walking up to the store, they're like, "Do you want Superman?" Like, no, but I appreciate you putting your pants back on.
You want red and blue Superman?
You want red and blue or black Superman?
Yeah.
I've only got to witness that once in my life in New York City. Someone really did come up and like, "You want this?"
You got watches.
I'm like, oh, all right. Oh, they had like chargers and watches and cases. Yeah. It was incredible.
It's usually watches.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. But and we bought them. I bought a fake Rolex off the guy.
It's the jacket.
You had to, and you had to look for the ones that was the smooth second hand, right?
Hey, if a guy in New York, if a guy in New York has a closed trench coat and he opens up and you see watches, it's better.
It's a relief. Normally, it is a relief.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it turns into a bad date. It turns into a bad date otherwise.
Like that one gremlin.
Speaking of a good time, let me tell you guys something. We've got a legend backstage right now, a man who has just put together an amazing comic book publishing company, has worked on some of the biggest names, biggest franchises. Everyone, please welcome. We've got Richie in the house. Ross, how are we doing this evening?
Hello. I'm doing great. How are y'all doing?
We're doing really good. Welcome to the show. This is the Week in Pop. You are our special guest. Wanted to touch base with you because you have so many things going on right now. And I mean, the biggest thing everyone is seeing, obviously, is the crazy success of Berserker.
It's been pretty incredible. We're very thankful for it. It's been pretty intense. And so, we've sold over 625,000 copies of this book, which makes it the biggest original. Well, it's the best-selling comic book of the past 29 years, 30. I mean, you have to go back to Spawn, Wildcats. Marvel had the Star Wars #1, came out about 5 years ago, and it sold 1 million copies, but 500,000 of those went to Loot Crate.
Yeah.
And so they didn't actually go through comic shops. So that's as I understand it.
Yeah.
This is what they tell me.
This is the inside news you receive. Well, Ross, let me give you a quick introduction to the Week in Popcast. We've got Jennifer Van Damsel in the house. We've got Dr. Blevins, who's been as a producer on the POPXP. Caleb Thusat, who is just an incredible indie creator, awesome guy, pop culture lover, as well as Howie Knoll under him. And then the legendary Nile Scala. That's me. That's me right here.
All right.
I'm not a legend.
Brain in the mainframe.
The brain of the mainframe. But so I wanted to have you on, talk about what you have going on. We see a lot of stuff going on with Power Rangers, the multiple printings with Berserker. Tell us what you got going on with Boom and what all the readers and viewers out there can look forward to with your publications.
Well, the big thing that we've got coming in April is Magic the Gathering. So that's going to be a big release for us. One of the things that sort of, when we announced that project, retailers hit us up and said, "Hey, are you, we want to tell you that these comics have been around for a long time and they've had a bunch of different publishers, but when they really sell, they sell when they have a card in them." Mm-hmm. And we said, yes, we are aware of that. And we have asked Wizards of the Coast to allow us to put a card in it. And they said no. And
it's because they got screwed over by IDW when they did it the first go around.
Well, I would never argue with a man named Goat Boy, but I don't know about.
It's an affectionate term.
I should hope so. But I don't know about any of that. I can't comment to that. I can't reflect on that. But but basically we said, yeah, we asked and we can't get any cards. Sorry about that. And then the next retailer said, hey, I don't know if you know, but these comics don't sell unless they've got a card in them. And we said, yeah, we've heard that from you guys, and this isn't going to have a card in it. And then retailers go, hey, you really need to put a card in these comics. And I am not telling you any stories. Just Wednesday, 2 days ago, I was in the comic book store, and the fan walked up to me, and he goes, hey, is there going to be a card inside your Magic the Gathering?
That was a question I had when you started talking about
Magic. There you go.
A card.
And what was great about this fan interaction, and the guy was delightful. He was terrific, but it was also sort of one of those painful things where he goes like, if there's a card in it, I'll buy it. Like, oh, thanks. Good to know you're interested in the comic. And which is not to say you're not, Jennifer, but I'm just saying it was pretty funny.
Really wants a card.
And yeah, he really wants a card. And
I like the art, really.
Yeah. Well, sure. I mean, the fandom around Magic's artwork is huge, and so we were sort of what we were thinking when we were publishing this book and taking this on was that we believed there had never been a connection between the people who played Magic, which we know that I don't know if you're aware, it's a $1 billion franchise. Right. It's so big they televise tournaments, right? Yeah. Like ESPN2 used to put Magic tournaments on.
I was a professional Magic player for 20 years.
Well, there you go.
Let's go.
All right. I think that should be Magic Goat Man.
Yes.
It stands for greatest of all time.
Yeah. Well, there you go. All right. So you could school me. No. So the thing is here's this huge franchise, and then we see that it hasn't really connected in comics. And what we love at Boom is people who've never read comics reading comics. Mm-hmm. And so we saw a great opportunity with all of these Magic fans. Now, we just experienced this with Berserker, where we're hearing all these stories from retailers that are coming to us and saying, this person's never read a comic book before. They signed up because it's Keanu. They came into my shop and they bought a comic, blah, blah, blah. And we have had that experience with Lumberjanes and a number of other, Power Rangers, a bunch of stuff that we publish. And so we saw this opportunity with Magic, and we took a chance. And we felt like if we could connect to retailers, which we've had a very strong relationship with, and say, hey, we really believe in the story. We really believe in the art. We really believe that this is something that's worth your time. We really want you to pay attention to it and check it out. And what we did was we shipped an ash can of the first issue into shops the Wednesday before the orders were due.
Nice.
So the idea there is we believe in this, and we're going to show you that we believe in it. We're going to pay for something that's expensive to make, and we're going to ship it to you in the belief that it's going to prove to you that it's good. And the result was it sold 8 times what the last sales were for the last first issue of Magic the Gathering. And I was doing my back of the envelope calculations, which by no means is certified by an MIT scientist, but it looks like it's the best-selling Magic comic in 25 years. So for the folks that are listening, thank you for pre-ordering it. Thank you for telling your retailer that you want it. Thank you for being excited about it. Jennifer, I know that you're at least half of those copies. So I want to thank you for that.
Of course, whatever I can do.
Blevins is the other half.
Yeah, I was going to say, where the history of the comic with a card. I don't know if you're aware of this, but every Magic comic that has been printed, like I'm talking all the way back when they did the Ice Age, Antiquity, Mishra Wars, Sarah Angel, even when IDW picked it up, all of those issues came with a card. So it kind of became synonymous, like if buying the book and getting a card. And when I had my comic book shop open, I definitely had situations where people would come buy the comics, take the card, and then leave the comic. Like they didn't want the comic. even though they had paid the full price for it. But yeah, I mean, I think that it's great to try to break that mold. So
yeah,
good on you. And the ash can looks like it's doing great.
Thank you, Jennifer. What were you going to say?
Well, I mean, it's like I worked at a comic book shop too. It's like F&M. People come in just to get the promo, and they're like, "All right, I quit. I don't want to do the tournament. I just really wanted the card."
Absolutely.
But I did have a question. Is there like a main character of the book? Is it like one of the planeswalkers or something? That's just kind of what I would assume.
Well, this is where I'm going to tease that a planeswalker definitely shows up in the first issue.
I wonder who it is.
And there are 3 very high-profile characters that you would know. What I will tell you is it takes place in Ravnica.
I love Ravnica. I was going to ask you. I just acted really excited. I'm sorry, my face must have been. I love Ravnica. It's my favorite lore of all of Magic. So you just got a fan coming on the store. I'm totally going to buy that.
Yeah.
With or without the card. Okay, I'm serious about this one.
Well, sort of what we want to do is, there's obviously so many people playing tournaments in comic shops, right? So there's all these Magic players that feel very comfortable being in a comic shop. And what we want to do is we want to create a situation where this person hears about, everyone's excited about this Magic comic. And how do you generate that buzz where the person who plays the cards comes over and goes, "Hey, can I look at that?" I mean, that's what you want. And if we can pull that off, then who knows where we'll be.
I mean, a poster of the Planeswalker, just like a big poster of whatever the Planeswalker is in there, because people are going to be like, "I know that character. What is that for?" Like, it's this awesome new comic book.
I think you'll be happy, Jennifer.
I think this is the best time, the best time actually to do the comics because, like before when Magic it didn't have a storyline attached to it. It was just based on planes and there was no story, but gradually they started incorporating a story into it. So I think this is the perfect time to kind of, like I said, break that mold and bring out something unique because a lot of people want to know those stories and they're not really printing the novels anymore either. So I think this is, I'm excited.
Prime time for it. I actually am really excited that you went the ash can method to really try to sell the book because people still do ash cans, but it's not like how they were. And I think sometimes, it's forgotten how powerful an ash can be as a marketing tool to give that preview, especially in a comic shop. Like if that free ash can, okay, thank you. They take it. And I've done it. I've done it many times in the past that I've read the ash can and I'm like, oh, I call up my buddy Richie at the shop. Hey, you know what? I just read that ash can. Put that in any like variant covers or something. So I really liked it. And I mean, that's such a smart move. Now with that book, if you do get the success, is that something you could kind of go back and try to fulfill that fan request of getting a card into that book?
Well, maybe we'll start an online petition for Wizards of the Coast.
There you go.
The thing about it is, I think that, how do I want to say this? Like, I think when you look at somebody like let's talk about, this is a bit of a dated reference. I should be saying LeBron James, but I'm going to say Michael Jordan for obvious reasons. So, Michael Jordan, biggest basketball player on the planet, he goes to play baseball, right? Because he already knows how to play basketball, right? So if you're Magic the Gathering, you already are the Lord of all cards. Right. So doing another card in a comic book isn't interesting. Right. So what you want to be the Lord of all comic books. Right. So, and as Blevins, I don't know your first, I forgot to write down your first.
Brian.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's Brian.
And I do not want to call you Goat Boy. So, Brian, it's like what you're talking about is they're building up the lore and they're in a situation. And, one of the things that retailers were talking about, like, I'm a D&D guy. I'm a Magic guy from Brian back in the era you're talking about. I remember the first set. But basically, they just put out a Ravnica source book for D&D.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Jennifer, you got to get on it. And when I say they just did, it's probably like 2 years old. So,
I live in
caveat.
I knew about pop culture until I started doing this show. I don't know.
And it definitely, Go ahead. Sorry.
I just say caveat quarantine brain. So who knows when it actually came out? It's a haze. But this, there's this broadening of we've had retailers come to us and say that they thought that their D&D fans would come buy the Magic comic because the D&D fans are really driven by narrative and fantasy storytelling, and that they like the Ravnica setting for their D&D campaign, and that the story would give them ideas for that. So I think for Wizards, I'm not sharing any information. I didn't have this conversation, so it's not like, let me tell you what they think. But it's more like, if I was them, I'd be like, doing another card is not as exciting as it is of like, let's go make a great comic and make the comic book so good that people want the comic book because they like the comic book.
Yeah, I think it's awesome to embrace it that way and go after it instead of trying to make it something that you're selling the cereal with the toy inside. Make a good product and sell it to them. Like, I think it's excellent that you've kind of embraced that mentality all around with these series that you guys are picking up and doing. So bringing a new audience to comics any way that you can is great for everybody, independent creators like me too, because I mean, a lot of my books, people buy them and they say, well, I never read a comic book before, but I like the idea. So it's like, it's the same idea, right? Like, you make a good story and you're bringing somebody, they might not even read comic books, or they might read them and they just like the idea. They don't have to be Magic fans. They could just like the story for what it is, and maybe that gets them to buy Magic cards too.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, Magic. They know that Ravnica is our best-selling set storyline, especially because it gets to break down in all the different guilds. They had the whole thievery issue between them, the guild gates, the Dragon's Maze. And of course, that's the realm that they chose when they came out with the D&D expansion. And they even printed a dragon to go with the D&D dragon. They brought Niv Mizzet as a dragon miniature, and the dragon was well received and everything. I don't understand why the game didn't pick up. I mean, it had all the lore associated with all the main planeswalkers, the Ralzerics, the Jaces, the Vraskas, like all of those. I mean, it was a great story, great campaign. Based in the #1 selling deal, it should have done better, and I'm hoping that maybe after these comics come out and get a little more people, interested in those characters and informed on the storyline associated with it, maybe they might come out with some more supplements.
What was it?
I'd love to see more Magic. I'm sorry, Jennifer.
What edition is it for?
It's for 5th edition.
Nice. Well, I do want to just pop this up real quick because I mean, the great Matteo Scalera did the cover.
Hey, look, there's Ralzeric and Kaya and Vraska and Jace.
I mean, absolute gorgeous cover. Gorgeous cover.
Yeah, Matteo's a genius. We worked with him back when people were not as familiar with who he is. Back when we did some Stan Lee comics in the early teens, almost 10 years ago. So Matteo is an old school Boom guy. So we're thrilled to have him back to do that. And he is a world class ass kicker. I love my Matteo.
Yeah. Now, real quick, if you can touch base a little bit, you've got the new series, Magical Girls. What is that? What's that series about?
So we all know the premise of like Sailor Moon style magical girls. Yeah. Well, Jennifer, we might be in trouble on this one.
Wait,
on the horizon.
I'm totally into it.
I think you might be all right, Jennifer.
Oh.
So the title is Save Yourself. It's not Have the Magical Girls Come Save You. So our protagonist starts to notice that maybe the magical girls that are saving the world, maybe they're not up to so much good. So it is a sort of examination of maybe you should take a look at your heroes and make sure they're actually your heroes. So I'll just leave it at that. I will say we put out some covers to promote the series that you can look up online, and one of the characters has a cell phone and is looking at the magical girls, and they are revealing their true nature.
Oh,
nice.
Yep.
Awesome. Yep. You guys have a lot of stuff coming up. That's really coming out.
Name of the company's not Whimper, Nile.
I know.
Come on, man.
I have a question about Power Rangers, if you don't mind.
All right, I'll see if I can do it.
Okay, so so a couple years ago, when they were introducing the Lord Draken storyline, there was a director by the name of Aaron Shorkin that got, he did a bunch of little individual promotional videos with Jason David Frank to kind of introduce that. He also did a couple of like Power Ranger verses. Like he has a production company called Bat in the Sun. Is there any thoughts of maybe bringing something like that back to do like a little bit of mini movies to try to accentuate the hype around the comics that are going right now?
Oh, I think I would be murdered by Hasbro for sure.
With their permission, obviously.
Well, our rights are around the publishing of the comic, and so JDF is Jason David Frank, for the uninitiated, is a stone cold genius and a treasure, and we adore him. And he has been nothing but staggeringly supportive of our comics, and goes to the shows and collaborates with us for signings and things. And so we adore him and love him. But I as far as like the videos that are done with JDF or other people, and I don't know if that was a Spawn owned it and then Hasbro bought it, and that gets political real quick. And
gotcha.
I'm not making tens of billions of dollars making action figures like my friends at Hasbro that are making magic cards that are making tens of billions of dollars. I'm just a little old comic book publisher over here in the corner, and I'm also not a world famous actor superstar like JDF is. So I'm just going to stick to my comic book making machine. I'll turn the crank on that and stay out of the what are they doing with the Power Rangers? Draken and directing online videos and Bat in the Sun and all. And I hear Bat in the Sun's amazing, so I think that's cool. I just don't know anything about that.
And I guess my other question is, like, most of the time when you're creating a product or like, the shorter the name, the better. One of the biggest things about the Boom comics is, like, you have these comics with these crazy names, like Something's Killing the Children, like We Only Find Them When They're Dead, The Unkind. Have you seen any kind of kickback about these big names, or do they really just set you guys apart from everybody else?
Well, I will tell you, Something is Killing the Children has not gone over in my house. I have a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old, and they like to walk by me very slowly and look askance at me and say, "Something's killing the Dada." So that is a true story. So now We Only Find Them When They're Dead. What we learned from retailers is that retailers have synced up the title of that series to the Garbage song, "I'm Only Happy When It Rains."
Gotcha.
So if that doesn't make you go, "We only find them when they're dead," I'm clearly not a singer, and I should remain not a singer. But that's been a lot of fun. Al Ewing got a kick out of that when he heard about that. But look, titles is one of the ways to get attention. And I think, my joke, the name of the company isn't Whimper, isn't really a joke. It's you don't name your company Boom expecting to fade into the woodwork. And so my attitude is, this is my business. I started this company. I'm the founder, and we're going to take shots, and some are going to work and some aren't. But let's get bold. And, all those things are coming from the creators. That's James Tynan came up with, and by the way, it's Tynan, not Tinian. James came up with, if it's of interest, but James came up with the title, Something's Killing the Children, and Al came up with the idea of We Only Find Them When They're Dead. I actually did this is where Nile will suddenly get some feedback and shut me off, but I'm going to cross promote my YouTube channel. I have a tiny little YouTube channel where I interviewed Al Ewing, and he talks about creating We Only Find Them When They're Dead. And it came from a short story about a beached whale. So I'll let you connect the dots from there. And then there's another interview that I did with Tynan where he talks about coming up with Something is Killing the Children. And we were in development on that title for at least 2 years. It might have been 3. And Matt Gagnon, my editor-in-chief, would come to meetings with me and say, we're coming along with Something's Killing the Children. I'm like, okay, cool. I was like, are we there yet? He's like, nope, we're not there yet, but we're coming along. We're coming along. I'm like, all right, let me know when we're there. So it was, for a long time, it was just that title to me. That's all I knew.
Yeah. Now, do you actually take the time to read all these books that, like, once they're done, do you actually go through and read them all, or do you depend on your editors and stuff for majorities of these titles?
Well, the editorial team I depend upon to source the material and take it through its editorial process. Mm-hmm. But you do have to keep up with what you publish, Nile. This is, I'm not sitting by the pool drinking mint juleps. Although, if you have any,
that does sound good right now.
That's actually, I might have revealed the name of our next comic. Sitting by the pool drinking mint juleps.
It's less foreboding. It's less.
The first copy will be available for Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah. Jennifer, you have to figure out.
With a polybag martini.
Yeah, does that come with a card?
Yeah.
No.
Nicely done. I was about to say, Jennifer's going to tell me which garbage song that syncs up to.
I don't know. I think that's the only one I know.
I'm only happy when it rains now.
Nice. And then speaking of Free Comic Book Day, though, you do have you got a little R.L. Stein. I saw that was posted up.
Well, let's stop here for a second. So you know that we are in production in Atlanta right now on the Just Beyond TV show, and it is going to come on the Disney Plus streaming service. So if you're a Goosebumps R.L. Stein fan, I think you will enjoy this. It's from Mark Webb, who directed the Spider-Man movies. Most recently is directing 2 of the 8 episodes. And Seth Grahame-Smith is the showrunner, and Seth is a genius. Mm-hmm. So it is going to be a lot of fun. And then, Nile, do you have the other one?
This is the only one I have right now.
That's the only one you have. Aha. Yes. Well, if you had the other Free Comic Book Day graphic, all it would be is black and written across the middle. Oops, I should be over here. Written across the middle is The House of Slaughter. So if you know Something is Killing the Children, you know that Erica Slaughter is from the House of Slaughter. And so that is, if you go read the solicitation information, pretty much all we tell you is the House of Slaughter. So the Something is Killing the Children fans, all their heads exploded. There it is.
There we go.
All their heads exploded when we put that out. So
that is awesome.
The Something is Killing the Children has been I cannot explain to you what a phenomenon this is. Mm-hmm. The last time I saw something explode in publishing like that, it was Lumberjanes. So we can't keep the first volume in print. Comic shops continually sell out and try to order more, and we're just going back to press and going back to press and going back to press. For a measurement, the first issue sold a little over 30,000 in first print. We went through 8 subsequent printings. The last time I looked, we were over 80,000 copies on the first issue alone. So, and I just think it's going to get bigger. This year in particular is going to build it even bigger. There's a bunch of stuff that we have coming up that for Free Comic Book Day, I think that there's going to be a big announcement next week. And then there's probably going to be a big announcement in May. And then it comes back for the next arc in May. So it's going to be massive. I can't tell you how big these sales on this book is.
Oh, that's incredible.
I don't know if you looked at the back issue market. Like if you look on eBay, that first issue is selling for stupid amounts of money. I mean, God bless the people that are paying that for it. Thank you. I mean, I don't get any of it. But
fourth print is like $150 for fourth printing. It's crazy.
I mean, 9/8s that are graded or like, I don't know off the top of my head. I mean, they could be going for $1,000. Yeah.
2,500 is what I'm looking at right
2,500.
now.
2,500. Okay. Yeah. I was wrong by half there.
Yeah,
so is this one of your series that is looking to basically break out of paper? We'll be heading to maybe television, film. Is that something you see in the future for this title?
Nile, did you go into my Instagram direct messages? Because every time I poke my head up onto Instagram, it's fans going, is this going to be? And is it going to be? Is it going to be? So
hang on. I'm logging out of your Instagram right now. My apologies.
So Nile, I'll give you the answer that I give them, which is I will say, I can't wait to see that.
Yes.
Nice.
Neither can the fans. So I mean, I have to say, like I mean, you guys are just cranking it. And last time we had you on the show, and me, you, Billy, and JC Vaughn were chatting. I mean, it is incredible what you guys are putting out there.
Thank you.
The quality of what you're putting out there, and really like no fear. Like you say it, like I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to do it. Some things are going to be successful, and we may have some misses, but you really just steamroll right ahead, Ross, and I have to say, it really is an inspiration to other creators like myself out there to see what you're doing and seeing what you're accomplishing. Because I mean, you started off just like most other creators and stuff. You worked your way up. Actually, if you don't mind, do you mind telling us quickly just the brief origin of how you got to where you are today?
Well, I was very lucky in that I moved out to LA to work in the movie business, and I had some work dry up on me, and I went to a convention. I got into a conversation with a guy that worked at Malibu Comics, and he offered me a job, and I needed a job. And this is 25 years ago. Malibu Comics was the publisher of the Ultraverse. So I took a job, and I landed at a company that worked with a murderer's row of Hall of Fame talent. There's probably 15, 20 names of people that were massive, massive giants. Walter Simonson, Barry Windsor Smith, Steve Englehart. I could just go on and on and on. Marvel then bought the company, and they mothballed Malibu ultimately. But I had a great run of about 3 years where I was inside a major comic book publisher. And when we got together for the 20th anniversary, the staff got together. So this was no fans at the event. We were just at a restaurant, and the editor-in-chief looked at me and said, Ross, I always liked you more than I liked Nile. Excuse me. No, it was the reverse. I always liked Nile more than I liked you. And I said, oh, Chris, why is that? He said, well, I'd tell Nile to go do something, and he'd go do it. And I'd tell you to go do it. And you'd ask, why are we making that decision? How does it dovetail into the grand plan? What is the move that we make before and after that? And that's when I realized that at my mid-20s, I was figuring out how to publish. Mm-hmm. And I was extracting information on strategy from this large comic book publisher. So Marvel buys them, I leave the company, and then some time goes by. I spend some time with my comic book creator friends, but I'm just a dude hanging out. And then a phone call comes from Keith Giffen. And Keith is a big-time creator. He worked on a memorable run on the Justice League. He's a co-creator of Lobo. He worked on 52. He has been working for 45 years in comics. And Keith calls me up and says, I'm doing a book at Image and you're going to write it. Okay. That's the kind of phone call that you don't say no to. And so I worked with Keith, and out of that relationship, he said, you should publish. And I said, Keith, well, that's nice. You know how you make $1 million in comics? You start with 10. Aha! You lose $9 million.
Yeah.
Right. And Keith said, no, you should really publish. And so Keith's persistence, there might have been alcohol involved. Let's be real. There was a copious amount of alcohol that was involved. But Keith was very persistent. And so I said, here's Keith, who's a genius and has had a multi-decade career. And I said, Keith, here's the thing. I'll start Boom, but our deal is that the first slate of books I'm doing, I'm calling you. And you're doing all of my books. Because nobody will order any of my books because it's me. They don't care. But if it says Keith Giffen, they'll order it. And so, true enough, I started the company. I did a slate with Keith, and people ordered those books, and that put me on the map. Mm-hmm. And cut to 15 years later, and here we are. It's the classic 15-year overnight sensation.
Hey, there you go.
Do you ever want to revisit Tag at all?
Of course, all day long, twice on Sunday.
Nice.
So, thanks for knowing that, Brian. I love it.
Man.
Original tag fan. I love it.
There it is. So I guess you're gonna have to bring it back now.
Yeah, because Blevins said so. It's like
Blevins
I have
said
to do
so.
it. Now I have to do it. Are you still super excited about Dune? I know you were very excited to get that license.
I chased it for 8 years.
Yes, sir.
So yes, I am utterly thrilled and honored. And I was the little kid that read the novel and then went to go see the David Lynch movie and was mad that it wasn't an exact adaptation. So, and Jennifer, because you are far too young to know this, the David Lynch adaptation, David Lynch is a genius, but he took a lot of liberties with changing the story. So for me, it's a full circle thing. You know, we published Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which is a novel that Blade Runner is based on.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, I got to be personal friends with Philip K. Dick's daughter, which, to this day, I still can't believe that she knows my name. And being able to do, Dune, have anything to do with Dune, much less, I don't know if you know, there's 18 books.
Yeah.
So it's, one of the biggest franchises of all time, much less biggest science fiction franchises of all time. So that's
okay,
a
but
fanboy
is the comic
moment.
book going to follow the books? Because you can't knock the movie for it,
Jennifer keeping me honest. Well, here's what I did was Frank Herbert, who wrote the original Dune, passed away in the mid-'80s. But his son took over the sequels, the prequels, and then a new term, which I learned, which are called interquels, which are the stories in between. And the son is Brian. And Brian Herbert writes with Kevin J. Anderson, and he's written 12 of those 18 novels. And so we hired Brian and Kevin to adapt their own novel into comic book form. So if there are any changes, you have to blame the authors.
I look forward to that.
Dude, yeah, I'm psyched.
That's going to be awesome. That's going to be.
Go ahead. No, sorry.
I'm just
go ahead. Sorry, bro. I'm just going off. No, if you have a Dune question, go for it.
No, I was actually going to say.
Are you the Kwisatz Haderach? Are you the Kwisatz Haderach? Sorry.
Yes.
That's a Dune joke.
It's a Dune. I was gonna also ask how impressive have you been, or how impressed have you been with Firefly?
Well, that series, Greg Pak has taken that mythology to such an amazing place and has been so inventive and fun and cool. And, just to have a sense, Dark Horse had it previously. And I think that they had it for 10 years, and I think they published 14 comics in 10 years.
Yeah, it was a very minimal, and in 3-issue installments with huge breaks in between. It was very, very odd.
Well, I not to comment on, I think the comics are great, and Joss was the one that worked on them, and Dark Horse is an excellent company. But for us, this comes back to the name of the company isn't Whimper, right? So we've done 25 issues in 2 years, and they did 14 in 10 years. So we love that series. We love the brown coats, and we love doing it. And we're doing. Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, Jed was involved with the first run. I don't think it was Josh. I think it was Jed that jumped in there and was doing the comics. Does he have anything to do with this, the Boom Run?
You're talking about
Jed Whedon.
Oh, Jed Whedon. Yeah. Are you sure it wasn't Zach? Okay.
Maybe it was. I don't know. Zach. I could be wrong.
Anyway, no,
I could be wrong. I'm not.
Yeah, look, I could. It's Friday night, so I could be a little goofy. Let's just agree that I am a little goofy, or more than a little goofy. But not so far, and it has been Greg Pak's universe. So,
well, he did a great deal with Planet Hulk. So, seeing what he did with that product, and then this that has a huge universe. I'm a Greg Pak fan, so I'm down.
He's the best, and I'm from Texas, and he's from Texas, so I gotta rep
nice.
Greg Pak.
What part of Texas?
I'm from San Antonio, and Greg is from Dallas.
Not cool.
Not cool.
I'm from Houston, so obviously way better than those places.
It got really tense in here. It got really tense.
It just got really tense. Yeah.
Can't beat our museum district.
Oh,
Jennifer, I didn't know it was a competition.
Yeah, now it's a
I'm
fight.
just saying how it is, okay? It's not a competition. I'm just right.
I think we can all have cheese enchiladas, Jennifer. It's okay.
Okay, totally down for that. Yeah.
It's okay. We can all sort of drink a margarita and know that we're not going to get cards in our Magic the Gathering comics. It'll be okay.
Wait, no mint juleps by the pool? Wait, what's going on here?
We're getting mint juleps. We are getting mint juleps.
Wow,
We're getting it.
I didn't know mint juleps would go over so well. If I didn't know
Any
that.
alcohol.
We're people of class, my friend. We love our juleps.
I see.
But definitely for the viewers out there, if you want to learn more about Boom and what they have, Boom Studios and what they have going on, please head over to the website. And what I want you to do once you get here first, though, is I want you to scroll all the way down. I want you to click this little button here. See this little tab? It says sign up. Sign up for the newsletter. This way you're going to know what's going on without having to look. The information is going to come to you. And that's when you can head over to the site and explore everything that's going on. We talked about Doom, Firefly. You've got the Empty Man. I mean, Berserker is Berserkers. I mean, it's going gangbusters right now. Second print. Ron Garney on the cover of that. I mean, amazing stuff. Boom is just booming, absolutely booming, and getting bigger and better every day. So really take that time to check it out. So many series, so much great stuff. And it's, you got to test it to, a fine gentleman like Ross and what he's put together with this publishing company.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Anything else going on you want to share, or anything that going on with Boom Studios, with Ross, anything fun going on?
No,
going on any vacations? Anything good?
What's a vacation? Before I go, I'll just have a little fun with Jennifer and let her know that I can trace my lineage back to my ancestors fought at the Alamo. So the fact that you get to live in Houston, you can thank me.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired.
I'm not intimidated by you.
Everyone down. Wow. She is tough.
She is tough. That's why she's here. She's here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why she's at the top.
She holds her own.
Yeah,
it's true. It's true. Thanks, y'all, for having me on.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for chatting with us.
Definitely.
Really
appreciate meeting you, Ross.
Ross, thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate it. It's always a joy having you on. You're always welcome. I hope you'll pop back on with us again for some other stuff we have going on. And keep up all the amazing stuff you're doing.
Thank you. Happy weekend, y'all.
Yeah, do the same. Thank you.
See ya.
Man.
Oh my God, my face is big. Don't make my face big.
There she is. She's
incredible.
Put her in there.
Incredible.
Texas. The only Texan left.
What an amazing guest.
Yeah,
Yes.
he was wonderful.
He's awesome. Like every time he comes on.
Yeah, such a good guy. Like, really, no joke. I mean, everything. I've been following Boom for a long time, Boom Studios, and it was one of those publications, publishing companies for comics that you'd see. And I'll be honest, at first I was like, "What's Boom?" And I was looking at some of the titles. I was like, I'm not really into it. And then, just hanging out at one of my buddy's shops as I became really good friends with him, and like literally going there like almost every day to just hang out in the back. And I started to just look at stuff more, and I was like, wow, they actually have a lot of really cool stuff. And I found myself reading it, and like really, people should check out Boom Studios. There's a lot of unique books there, different titles. I mean, you're not really talking superhero books.
They do the Amory Wars.
Yeah,
correct. They do the Amory Wars.
We didn't get to ask him about that.
I know. Jen, come on, Jen.
You brought up Texas, but you didn't bring up Texas and Houston.
Sorry, guys. I just let the team down. Like the worst.
Man.
Fired.
Well, what's worse than Jen? I guess we can talk to Howie. So, Howie, what's going on in the world of Hasbro toys?
Thanks for that segue. Wow. I guess I'm worse than Jen.
Oh,
we know
and that's pretty bad because
that's not bad.
Really better. Everybody is worse than Jim because
that's
she's
not bad
amazing.
at all.
She's so
that's
amazing.
not bad. No.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Everyone's here for Jen. Come on, we all know this.
We know why they're doing it.
There's no way we can stack up.
Wait, what's your fan club? Wait, what is it? Damsels?
The Vandals.
The Vandals.
And
Vandals,
big giant
Vandals.
And Damsels.
It's a big giant sign behind her, Nile.
Well, her shoulder covered the dowels. So I'm like, what's a van? What is she doing with a van?
It's just her shoe collection. She collects vans.
She collects vans.
Yeah.
Like I have a whole bunch of vans outside. So that's
I bet you do, Blevins. Blevins has a bunch of white vans. Yeah. Well, it's revenge time. What's going on this week?
What is going on this week in Hasbro, man?
Nile, what you have me searching for is Hasbro had their Collector Con. I don't even know what they were calling it, but it was some exclusive crap show on Walmart where they were sending everybody to be stressed out and watch a countdown clock on Walmart's website.
What?
Yeah, countdown.
What?
I didn't say cock down. It was a cock down clock. You gonna edit that out just like
1 minute,
question?
like 1 hour, 5 minutes. 30
yeah, mark that down when I said clock down. They had a countdown on Walmart.com where everybody was racing, but I think most everything is still available. So you can still get the Ecto one, and it's a re-release of the classic Jeez, I can't talk today. Why am I on this show?
This is the expert you have?
I'm not an expert. He made me come in. I owe him a gambling debt, and now here I am. All right? Jeez. It's the last time I'm betting on a Texas basketball team. Anyway, Ghostbusters, Texas.
Oh, God. Don't talk
Ghostbusters Canada Classics.
I just wanted him to come on and be like, the Ghostbusters.
He made me come in. It's Friday. He's like worried about me. He doesn't want. I was like all depressed all week, and he's like, come in. We'll have some fun. It'll be a blast.
Jen's going to talk about Texas. It'll be
great. We're going to talk about
More
Texas.
time.
We're having cheese and
everybody.
Come on, have some drinks.
We're vandals.
It's the real Ghostbusters Ecto 1. It's available right now. So if you missed out in your childhood and you're really depressed that you didn't get this toy, you can get it.
But Howie, what does this even mean? Why are they making all these wonderful replicas and recreating our childhood?
Because nostalgia sells. Am I supposed to say something sweet? Because we don't have a sponsor, right?
We don't have a sponsor.
No, it's just pure nostalgia.
Yeah. Well, since
yeah,
COVID,
and plus
they haven't
vintage
been
ones.
working.
I mean, on eBay, this same thing will cost you over $200. Way over. This is brand new. It's almost exactly the same, except that little string that attaches to the ghost. And the original, I think it's black. And now it's a white string. I think that's to separate it so the original collectors don't get angry. You know, there's some fights in the collector community.
So they're basically doing like what they did with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toys a few years ago. They just basically reproduced all the 80s toys and whatnot to a degree, though. They didn't reproduce all of them.
No, they're doing select ones, but they did do the first full set of Ghostbusters. So you had everybody, and I got, I have all of them, but just for the show, you get Vankman. There he is. And the packaging is exactly the same. It's pretty much exactly the same.
What's the back of it look like?
Just like the original. There you go.
Ooh.
And it's really cool. It sends you right back to the 80s. Yeah,
it does.
And I mean, you're not going to find one of these vintage affordable with, you know, see the green stream that's broken every time. So there's your chance to break it again.
The stream breaks a lot. It's hard to keep a constant stream.
That's why they say don't cross them.
Yeah, you don't
cross the stream.
That's that's disgusting. But here's Slimer.
Oh, let me come back.
Snap.
There you go. Oh, look at him. And he comes. See, these are all printed slightly different.
Oh, yeah.
The texturing is slightly different so they don't tick off the original collectors. And
do you think they're gonna remake the actual like play set, the Firehouse?
Firehouse?
My guess is because these were actually really successful, thankfully, because sometimes they come out with reissues and people can't get them, and then these are doing really well, and you can get them in stores. And like this pre-order, you can still get this Ecto 1. So even if you missed the countdown, you can go get it, which is awesome. I think that may be they're either going to release it like this as a special thing. Maybe, you know, Comic-Con's coming up. Maybe it'll be a big deal like that. Or I think it may be their crowdfunding thing they do.
Mm-hmm. Now, like we're all
like they did Unicron.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, because it's a big item, but I don't think it's if Ecto 1's only $40, which is crazy to me. They make it affordable. Honestly,
huh?
I don't know.
Well, it probably cost $40 back then for the thing.
May have, yeah. I didn't have this one.
I didn't have that either. I wasn't like huge. I wasn't a super. I mean, were you guys like heavily into Ghostbusters?
I was. I had all of them, and I had Slimer. And But I mean, when you're a kid, anything can be anything. A cardboard box could be the car if you want. When you're a kid, it's like you have imagination and stuff. But like, this is cool that they're doing this. They're not. It's whereas Mattel is doing remakes of He-Man, so you get a remake of Castle Grayskull. Yeah, they could release the same thing. They have all the molds. Right. So it's kind of cool that they're doing the exact same thing, and because this is what you remember. They're really going for your nostalgia. They keep the box art the same, and I think it's awesome. I think what is great is that you can get it. Say it's a couple days late, you're just hearing about this on the show. You can log on right now and get it. It's not like what has been happening, and it seems since the pandemic that it's become just a nightmare to get some of these items. And what they do is the countdown was like exciting, but it's not exciting because when the countdown reached 0, nothing showed up. Nothing was there, and it said toys not available, and you're like, what? Nothing's there, and you're refreshing, and then you're kind of like, I'm a little old to be doing this.
Nobody
what am I doing with my life?
Yeah,
and you're like, I should be working.
But we're all obsessed with nostalgia. That's the problem. They're getting us.
You have to be on You have to be on Instagram and following the toy sites. So somebody like Toy Shiz, he will give you the link. That's what you have to do. This is like where collecting
COVID shot of toys.
It is. Right? Yeah. It is exactly like. I think that might be easier. It is, and the side effects to this are just kind of depression and regret.
Depression, regret, and loss of money.
Yeah, it hurts a lot in the wallet, and but you do have to go on to be a collector now. I mean, you have to be on Instagram watching these people, and if you don't, you kind of miss out, and then you have to wait for eBay, where it's like scalping tickets. Like I said, I said that I think concert scalpers switched to toys when the pandemic hit, and so it's nice to see that Kenner's making some. I mean, Hasbro is making some, changes here. Like this is available, but they also do GI Joes. You can't find them. You can't find them. Nope. It's just that's a nightmare. So I'm glad this one's okay because the GI Joe thing
and the McFarlane DC Multiverse. You can't find those either.
Yeah, those are really hard, really hard, and they're not in my local store. I must be where all the scalpers are, or the distribution trucks are.
They're all hanging out outside your house.
Well, you're where the distribution trucks get robbed.
By the toy scalpers, yeah. It's like the Wild West. We just want the toys.
Like with like when they remake toys like this, though, like I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna keep it in the box. It's gonna be like worth so much money because it's not the original.
No,
like these would be the ones like if I were to waste the money, I would buy to actually take out of the package and have like displayed somewhere in my studio.
You keep this in the package because you like how it looks. Like this packaging has got. I hang this in my room just to look at it. I like the art. Mm-hmm. It's not because it's all bent up. It came from Walmart. That's a disclaimer. If you're getting this from Walmart, that's weird. It's weird that this exclusive collectible for like people that are intense collectors, where they want it looking perfect, comes from Walmart. Like Walmart. They do not. They don't care what box they put it in. Sometimes they'll put it in an envelope. I mean, an envelope, a collector toy. So I've seen horror stories. Sometimes they'll send it opened. Hey. Whatever. They're just you'll get it. It's already open. Something's missing.
It was way easier for us to send you the figure in this baggie instead of leaving it on the card.
There's no quality control as far as how they're shipping these out. Exclusive just means that's for Hasbro to keep their deal with Walmart because they're the biggest store in the country as far as that. That's why we have to deal with these exclusives. It really doesn't mean we really want to take care of these toys for you and treat them properly for the people buying them. They don't care. It's like a deal. It's just a deal that they've made, and
they know they're going to sell. They know they'll sell them, and they don't really care. Yeah. And the staff doesn't care because it's not like you're dealing with people that are into like collectibles and stuff.
No, they have no idea.
But let me ask you guys, like, because this just brings up that good point, right? Nostalgia, right? We're kind of like a generation is kind of hooked on like nostalgia. We kind of like the things we liked. I don't want to say we don't like change, but I think there's just certain things, like certain memories we like to keep. I mean, is there one thing? I just want to go around real quick. Is there like one thing that's like your number one nostalgia, like that, like you always just get the same feeling whenever you see it, watch it, read it? Jen, do you have anything like that?
Disney, anything classic Disney. I collect Disney. That's all these glass cases back here are nothing but Disney figurines. I watch Disney movies probably like 3 or 4 times a week. I love Disney. I went to Disney World and I cried whenever I went into the Belle's castle, the Beast Castle. I was like crying. Like, I don't know. I'm not an adult, but it was awesome.
Caleb.
Yeah, man. 80s like fantasy movies like Princess Bride, The Neverending Story, you know, all that era stuff, Kroll. Like that stuff I can just watch over and over again, and I always get the same enjoyment out of it, same feeling. So movies, I would like basically grew up in a movie theater, so like movies like that always bring it back to me.
Howie, what about you? What's like your number one nostalgic thing?
Oh, number one. Well, I know I like Dick Tracy, but I mean, I'm doing the whole Instagram dedicated to that. But in addition to that, I love He-Man. It really reminds me of I was lucky to find that picture when I was at my parents' of me getting like Battle Cat for Christmas, so it's cool to have. I didn't know they had any pictures of me like Christmas opening gifts, but it's really special because I do remember that. I remember He-Man, and I still have I have a bunch of vintage ones that I'm lucky to have, and they just really bring me back to that imagination because those were toys you could play with and really beat the crap out of and have wars. And that, it's just, it was really, that was back when they were inventing things, that were new. Like He-Man was like Conan the Barbarian meets Star Wars, but it was new. It was something new. And I like that.
Nice. Blevins.
I mean, I have to agree, like all the 80s stuff, like cartoons, movies, like I was a big absorber of all of that stuff. Of course, Flash Gordon is my favorite.
There you go.
Flash Gordon is my absolute favorite.
I had one.
Collected everything that Flash Gordon has. I mean, like the flying blind on the rocket cycle is one of my favorite lines. Best being the Hawkman. Timothy Dalton as the prince. Anyway, when the prince is and that was until Clytus put the ball worms on me. I don't know. It was kind of scary, but it was kind of awesome at the same time to think that just a normal guy with no powers from Earth could, save the world. I don't know. It was awesome. That and Last Starfighter are two of my favorite movies growing up. But yeah, I mean, I love all the cartoons too, especially Hanna-Barbera. I think they were the best.
So whenever you see these things, you're reliving those emotions you had.
Dude, you know this now. You know that I've been on a quest to try to get all this stuff, acquired, so I can have, I don't know how much you guys can see, but all the way around my house is all movies, all the way around. I collect everything, television episodes, movies, old school cartoons. I was lucky enough to get Young Samson just recently. Yeah, man, all of that stuff from that time period. Of course, the 80s was the best time for movies and cartoons anyway. So yeah, it was definitely that. It wasn't even comics, because I wasn't even into comics at that time.
For me, it'd have to be Camp Candy, because whenever I go to a camp, I think of John Candy and that cartoon. I love camp. It was fun. That's really nostalgic. No, I'm joking. I'm joking, Jen.
You were so dead and serious.
What is Camp Candy?
I don't even know either. Yeah.
I didn't know if anyone knew what Camp Candy was. I threw it out.
I'm aware
there.
of Camp Candy. I never heard it said out
loud. It was a cartoon.
Cool. It was a cartoon. John Candy
respect.
Actually voiced the main character. He's an actor.
John Candy is a saint.
He is. I miss him.
The world misses him.
For me, actually, I'm going to pinpoint it to one thing. And for me, most people would say, oh, it's probably Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. No, it's not.
That's what I would guess.
It's not. It's actually Bruce Timm and Batman the Animated Series, because that was the first time I saw something and realized I knew what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, with just the whole Art Deco Gothic style artwork, the script, everything. I immediately taught myself how to draw like him. I can draw just like I could draw all the characters in whatever form. I mean, I completely studied it. I showed Blevins the book I got when I was little. True. You should see the thing. It looks like a rag doll that got loved to death in a mud pit. But I mean, that I can watch that cartoon and it's just I don't lose anything. I don't watch it oh my god, how the hell could I watch this?
Right. Yeah. No, it still lives up. I started rewatching it on the HBO Max.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It makes me jealous they never did the Dick Tracy cartoon.
Because it should have looked like that.
Right there.
It's right there. It should have
looked right. Yeah,
the music, just rip it off. Why can't they just rip it off?
Well, it's kind of like Grey Ghost was almost close. You know?
Yeah, that's my favorite episode, the Grey Ghost one. But speaking of childhood nostalgia, the youth. How about a little Pee-wee, huh? How about a little Pee-wee documentary? What is this about? HBO is going to be doing a Pee-wee documentary, Paul Ruben's documentary about the Wee Herman. He could yank a few laughs out of us, huh?
I'm taking a break on
this. He could take some laughs, huh, guys?
That was bad.
I liked Pee Wee Herman when I was a kid. Give me a break.
Hey, Cherry! It's Pee-wee. You guys don't like Pee Wee Herman?
Hey,
I had never seen
Pee Wee's Playhouse.
I think I was too old for it.
He was ahead of his time, man.
Have you watched it, Jen? Have you watched Pee Wee Herman?
I watched it today.
You did? For this? For the first time?
Like, his laugh is just... I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the number one thing.
You didn't watch it when you were little?
I have seen like a few episodes, but even when I was little, I was like, this guy's really annoying. And it was kind of creepy. I always thought he was a little creepy.
He is creepy, obviously.
Really annoying.
He was very creepy.
His bike is stored at the basement of the Alamo. You know that, right?
Oh, my God.
What?
His bike is in the basement of the Alamo.
I don't know what's going on.
Wait, I don't know if this is like, I don't remember enough.
Is this a bit from the movie?
Is this
from the movie?
It's from the movie. Come on.
Somebody stole Pee-wee's bike.
Right.
And the person told him that it was in the basement of the Alamo.
Right.
And he goes to Texas and he's on the phone and he's like, I'm in Texas. And they're like, no, you're not. And he goes, the stars at night are big and bright. And everybody was like, deep in the heart. Like everybody just stopped and did it.
That's right. It's all coming back to me.
The creepiest thing, though, is really the 2016 Pee Wee Herman movie. Because it was like, he's old, but he looks young. Like, it just was
kind of photoshopped.
Wasn't it a series? It was a series, right? It wasn't a movie.
No, it was a movie.
No, it was a Netflix movie or something.
It was a Netflix movie, yeah. That one was just weird because he was old, but he wasn't old. I don't know.
It was like claymation, but real.
Yeah, but he was living. He was like alive.
And of course, it's like
Large Marge, man. That scared me as a kid.
Oh, yeah, that was scary.
Yeah, man. That was scary.
Yeah.
I just wanted a chair that would hug me. I wanted a cherry. So I could be like, poop.
You don't want to sit on something that's... You want to sit on a living
used to watch that show all the time, man. And I actually was disappointed that they took the holiday special down off of Netflix this past year because
I just saw it today.
I think it's hilarious.
It's on there. I just checked today.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
It was gone.
So what goes through your mind, Jen? What goes through your mind when these itineraries for the show come your way and you're like looking at this shit like, fucking Pee Wee Herman, what am I going to do with this? Like,
no, hey, I give anything a fair chance. I thought that I hated Pee Wee Herman, so I was like, well, let me just watch the movie all these years later just so I give an informed opinion. And yes, I still fucking hate Pee Wee Herman. So I hate that laugh. And then just
I'll make sure I'll laugh like that from now on. Okay,
we're all gonna do. Let's randomly just be like, ha ha.
I quit. Goodbye forever. Not worth it.
You are, but what am I?
I know you are, but what am I?
Oh my god, I know. It's like a fucking like 3-year-old. It's like everybody in the show is just 3 years old, and oh god.
Oh yeah.
I hate it. It was the worst.
It is a bit much, but like. I just like, is he relevant enough to do a documentary about? Is Pee-wee? So. You think he is? Yeah,
100%, man. I mean, like he.
Don't you remember how crazy that was back then?
It was huge, man. Pee-wee's Playhouse was huge. I mean, the secret word. I mean, dude, even growing up, like huge. You know, everybody was like Alakazam was a big magic word. You know, like synonymous with magic and doing tricks and stuff, and then you have Pee-wee's Playhouse where they have Zombie, and he's like Mecca Lecca Hi, Mecca Heidi Ho, and I was oh, that's something real. Like it took me a couple of episodes to like learn the whole chant, but I was like right on board, and man, I was screaming at the screen whenever they said the magic word. I mean,
I did look forward to it.
It's a little boy thing. It's a little boy thing.
I guess.
Pee Wee Herman is like, it's like he's acting like a little boy. So like, yeah, when you're a little kid, when you're a guy, like, yeah, you relate to him because he's acting just like you want to act, right? Yeah. Like you're acting crazy, you're screaming, you're laughing at everything, making up things. He's got like the weird animation stories and stuff that he does.
Oh my God, Penny! Penny was awesome, dude. Penny was great.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You can't deny how great Penny was.
The Penny stories,
yeah. Penny stories were the best.
Those were so creepy, so creepy. It was like the chick from Wendy's, but just creepy times 10. But I don't know.
I only watched it because Tim Burton directed it, and I didn't know. So I was like, all right, let me see what Tim Burton does with it. And his style is perfect because it is like a weird, creepy like character. So all the set design was really cool. It was very imaginative. Like the scenes in the movie, I'd be like, who would have thought to like do that?
Yeah.
And so
What movie did you watch?
Excuse me?
Which one did you watch?
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Okay.
I didn't know Tim Burton directed that, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. So Caleb's probably the only one that may know this. So was like Blippi today's Pee Wee Herman? Does your kid watch Blippi?
No, thank God.
Oh my God, it's horrible.
Yeah, I try to avoid as many annoying programs as I can, as much as I can. But
Do you know who Blippi is, Blevins?
I have no idea.
Jen, do you know who Blippi is? Okay, you don't need to worry about that. It's horrible.
Turn in my POPXP card. Turn it in.
Is it worse than SpongeBob?
Showed him Pee Wee Herman, and he actually thought Pee Wee Herman was Mr. Bean. So
you don't like SpongeBob, Jen?
I hate SpongeBob.
Hated it.
SpongeBob is kind of like Pee Wee Herman. Think about it, guys.
He is kind of like Pee Wee
Herman. It's the worst.
And Patrick.
So Jen.
It's the laugh. It's the laugh.
I hate
it. You know the trick to it is you have to palm and move your hand on your neck.
Show me.
Do you all want to try it?
Oh, no.
That's how you do his laugh. All right, Jen, your turn.
Oh God.
Jen, your turn.
No.
I used to do a turkey noise. That was fun. No. Have you ever tried to do a turkey noise?
How do you do a turkey noise?
It's embarrassing. You gotta,
How do you do it?
It's like a guttural thing. You really gotta throw your head back.
That sounds like SpongeBob.
What?
All right, Caleb, try your best SpongeBob laugh impression. Let's go.
All right, ready?
Oh, you're like a sweet little lamb. I'm gonna give you a celery stick. Let's go, Blevins. Let's go, SpongeBob.
Nope.
Then do the turkey.
All I can do is a baby cry. That's all I can do. All
right. Do the baby cry.
You want me to do the baby cry?
Do the fucking baby cry. Aww. Sounds like an out of tune violin.
I was caught off guard. I didn't get a chance to.
You need a little honey and lube it up. Lube it up with a little honey. Little honey. That's what I'm telling
you. Little Dr. Pepper action right here. What's up? We're gonna knock it out.
Did Howie come back yet?
Dude, you're the only one. You're the only one that can tell me.
I'm glad I escaped that.
Hey, do your best SpongeBob impression.
Oh no, I escaped that segment. Go ahead. Next
Howie, do your best SpongeBob impression.
No.
All right. Fine.
I don't really. I've
you
never
can.
watched
You can do it. You can do it, Howie.
Wait, what's the best impression you can do?
I can do a couple impressions, but I don't know. Does
anyone have an impression they're proud of?
Proud of? No.
Proud of. Like gobbling turkeys.
I'm proud of a couple, but I'm not going to do them.
Well, does anybody want to do any impressions?
Pick the coolest one, Howie.
There's so many cool ones I do.
Well, just do one.
Yeah,
peer pressure.
Yeah, I know. That's what I like performing like that. I do really well under pressure.
Just freaking whips his camera across the room.
Yeah, he's like
fuck you.
I'll just leave again.
He's like, I'll do Slimer, and then he just spits on the camera lens. Anyways, speaking of impressions, what about Microsoft? What kind of impression did you get of their new acquisition?
Dude, that was so stilted.
I did it on purpose, bro, because I'm fun. We should start drinking during this show.
New,
I think this should be.
So
by the time we get to this part, we could just be like really sloppy.
That would be a good idea.
Where it's like 3 hours long if we're all drunk.
That's awesome.
It's fine. As long as I'm drunk, it's fine.
Yeah. You're not going to care until the next morning.
And then the next day, it's like to edit it. And I'm like, what is this? And it's like, Rubber Slave, Slurpee. It's like 9 hours of that.
Oh, my God.
God, I remember last time that happened. It was awesome. You and Billy were just like 4 sheets.
Oh, my God. I was fucking done.
I
was done.
You're like,
oh my God, I love it!
and like
last time
they were talking about the JFK assassination. You were like, oh my God, I love it! I was like,
that's an awkward sentence.
It was sad. It was bad.
That is such a lie.
It was.
I don't know anything about the JFK assassination. You sick?
Oh my God, you have been.
I'll tell you this though. Fun story. When we were fulfilling for She Returned of the Warrior, I went down and hung out with Billy, and of course, we're drinking by like midnight. I'm like, I fucking love you. I fucking love you. We're like fucking brothers. We're not gonna be old enough to share my fucking brother. I fucking love you. I don't want to go.
Everybody gets that way with Billy, though. I've been there with Billy before. San Diego Comic-Con. We were both just wasted. Like, I love you. You're my favorite. Can't help it with Billy.
It's crazy. It's just a love fest. Good thing I brought an extra shirt. So speaking of Microsoft, what do you guys think of this acquisition of Bethesda?
Why did you need an extra shirt?
Bethesda.
Oh, I thought I was the a-hole on my toy segment. I got called out on my toy segment. What was that?
What is up with this, Blevins?
What is up with that? Like, man, I mean, it's nothing. It's
nothing major.
It's what they do. It's a really good. It's
acquisition.
A really good move by them, especially with the whole breakdown of the console wars getting ready to come out, because PlayStation 5 right now is just killing the Xbox Series X. I mean, just killing them right now. But I mean, taking one of the most popular game systems with Bethesda, which is Morrowind, all the Elder Scrolls stuff, and making it exclusively Microsoft and PC. I mean, definitely definitely puts that wedge between them and gives Microsoft that much needed boost to kind of level the playing field. Because I mean, this isn't the first time it happened. Going all the way back to the original Xbox when it came out, Microsoft had Bungie, which was the company they worked for that created Halo, and Halo was exclusive to Microsoft.
It still is.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. This isn't a new thing, is what I'm getting at.
So is this a move to still try to compete with taking a little bit away from PlayStation?
This is the biggest move that I think that Microsoft has ever made.
Yeah.
In the game market. Let me clarify. This is the biggest move they've ever made in the video game market.
I will say Xbox has made right now. It's the biggest move Xbox has made. Now, are you guys Xbox?
Because it's going to be for PC too.
Oh, it is going to be for PC too.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So PS5, Xbox. I mean, what's your guys' verdict on this whole? Which console's better? I really, I don't know. I've always been partial to Xbox.
Yeah, PS5 is incredible right now. Sorry, Jennifer.
Oh, it's okay.
No, go ahead.
She's going to say PlayStation.
That was it. No, I'm a PC gamer, so I don't care about console at all. As long as it's on PC, I'm good. So, yeah, I didn't really. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always played PlayStation, and this move doesn't really make me inclined to go out and buy an Xbox. Like, I played Fallout, and I played played some of the RPGs and stuff in the past, but it's like it's not going to be enough for me to drop the money to go get another system to buy the 3 or 4 games they're going to have outside of the ones I can already get. So it's like, I don't know. Well, I see it as a big move to some, but I don't know that it's going to sway people that are like fans of one system to go onto the other system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you're a fan of like Elder Scrolls, because I mean, Oblivion and Skyrim were huge. Yeah. So if you like were a PlayStation person, you're super into like Fallout. Like I can see you being like either upset or excited for it, but it's all on PC, so you don't have to make a decision.
Yeah, and they're definitely going to discontinue their support for PlayStation hands down because I mean, like with the purchase of Bethesda, they also got Elder Scrolls Online, which was really big on PC, and also you got to play it on PS4 and Xbox, and the only cross-platforming was between the Xbox and the PC. Like, their PlayStation Network wasn't set up to cross-platform with, with PC and Microsoft for that. So now they get to be all-inclusive.
But are they dropping support for games that already exist? I mean,
probably they're going to drop support for Elder Scrolls Online. I guarantee it.
You think?
I think so.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be a source of revenue? Why would they drop that? Why wouldn't they just continue creating new for the new acquisitions?
All the updates are going to be set up. Like every time they do an update, they have to do an update for PC, which also is the same update for Xbox, and then they have to have a whole nother team do the update for the PlayStation platform. Gotcha. So they're eliminating all that additional work. So there won't be any more updating at a certain point. They have to create new interactions, new team building deals because of the cross-platform between Xbox and PC that is not going to be accessible by PlayStation 5. So yeah, I think it was one of the most brilliant moves that they've done in the gaming space, and especially picking it up at its lowest price point due to the pandemic and people not really out there purchasing stuff, and the game systems not being available. I mean, I feel
like this is like the worst inventory run they've ever had, like in the history of game consoles. Because there's like usually, I feel like at this point stores would be stocked.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with the action figures, though, right? Like people are scalping the systems the same way they're scalping toys. So like they're scooping them up any way they can, and they're turning them around and selling them for twice as much money.
Unfortunately,
I didn't know a lot about that.
Coming over a boat. Everything's coming over on a boat.
I luckily got a PlayStation 5. My kid woke me up at like 5 something in the morning, right when Target dropped stock, and I got one. So I didn't have to pay a ridiculous amount of money to get one. But like, if I hadn't done that, I probably still wouldn't have one. Like, it's insane. They're still not up in stores. Yeah.
Do you actually play it a lot? What are you playing?
All kinds of stuff. I got the Devil May Cry 5.
What's the console if you really got one, tough guy?
Did you play Phoenix Rising?
Show us the
I did actually just finish that.
How was it?
I really liked it. It's like Zelda meets Assassin's Creed, basically.
You think they'll ever make another Jumanji movie?
Yes. They're making it's filming right now.
What an odd segue. Is there
I just thought of Jumanji. I thought it was
it just popped in your head?
Popped in my head.
The last one made like $1 billion, so I'm sure they're going to do everything.
I want I want them to do more like what the original movie was.
Oh no, it's whatever the Rock wants.
Yeah,
you'll get another Rock one.
Well,
are you gonna watch his show?
Yeah,
they should just digitally put Robin Williams back in it somehow. Just like recreate him,
stick
him in there.
Yeah,
they could do it.
They can do anything. Deep fake him.
Well, The Rock just came out and talked about his battle with depression just recently.
The Rock did?
Yeah. It was very weird. Like, because people were just like, how in the world, you're world famous, and I guess like you just don't really think about like he can't do little things like go into a restaurant or go buy something from Walmart, or you know what I'm saying? Like he can't.
It's not like The Rock can put a hat on and no one knows who he is.
I know. It's not like he can like shrink down his body and like look all like fat and shriveled. It's
all he's gonna do is put on glasses, okay?
Like, you won't know it's him if
he's like, I'm just gonna go into
oh my god, where'd Brian go?
I'd be like, oh, that's just Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, Brian's back. Oh man, thank God.
That's not The Rock. It's Dwayne.
That's not The Rock. That's just Dwayne. Hey, Dwayne.
Hey, Dwayne. Have you seen The Rock around?
He's such
I really like The Rock.
That's crazy.
He's battled
that though.
He's battled depression his whole life. I mean, that's part of the reason he's so active. I mean, it would make sense why he's at the gym at 4 a.m. because they say, exercise is one way to fight it. And if you have anxiety and depression, that's what he works a lot. So he creates and he works out because that when you're idle, that's when the thoughts come in.
Yeah. Well, that's why a lot like really creative people and people that do creative things, a lot of them usually battle with some form of depression or something because it does, you're always in your mind and you escape, and ultimately you kind of take where you escape to in your mind and you bring it out into whatever your creative form is. So now everyone out there knows all of our secrets. We're just a depressed kid. I make popcorn balls.
Huh.
Just okay.
I think you're having a stroke. What? I really am worried about
talking about creative process. I make popcorn balls and I carve them to look like celebrities.
I draw cartoon dragons.
That actually sounds like a serial killer. Both of those comments. I mean, both are pretty much Red Dragon.
Keep an eye out your mail. I have a couple of popcorn balls coming to you.
That's one of my least favorite food. I guess it's food.
Those are disgusting.
They're not real. Did you ever get one for Halloween? That's I'm like, I'm not eating this. It's probably
like
a razor.
Someone gives us styrofoam in the shape of popcorn. That's what it is.
Oh my god!
I hate popcorn.
If you're gonna get a razor, it's coming in a popcorn ball. That's what was my guess. I'm like, this is poisoned.
That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. So who's gonna watch? Jen, are you gonna watch? Did you watch Snyder Cut at all?
No, I guess we're watching it this weekend. I've heard mixed things about it so far. Some people really like it. Some people really don't. So I'm curious.
Zack Snyder in a nutshell, right? Half people like it, half people hate it.
All I know is if I hate it and I have to sit through it for 4 hours, I'm going to be very upset.
If it makes you feel better,
I'm pretty confident, and I think we've gotten to know you pretty well, that you are going to hate it.
I mean, that's
no matter how good it is, Jen is going to hate it.
No, that's not.
I don't know. She liked Dredd, man. She liked Dredd.
Yeah, and I like Max Ronin. I was really surprised that I liked that, and that was very good.
You're like 80% of the time, I hate it 100% of the time.
So far, I still have to finish it. It is 4 hours. It's kind of long.
Yeah.
I have about an hour left, and I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I'm not going to let Howie talk on the topic.
I'm not allowed.
I do have one question, though.
We're not supposed to talk about Justice League.
No, that was the rule. I don't want to get engulfed by comments.
Hang on.
Go ahead, Jen.
Does it need to be 4 hours long? Because that's sometimes you're like, okay, this is just dragging on.
I
This
can
is
answer that.
filler.
It does not.
It does have to be 4 hours long.
Jen.
Yes.
It does not.
Oh my God. Hang on.
Got mixed opinions. I don't know. I have to.
There's a lot of slow motion. A lot of slow motion. But I mean, the Flash runs so fast. That's how they have to do it.
It's not only in the Flash. Come on, man.
All right,
it's Lois Lane drinks a latte in slow motion. There you go.
That's not
your answer. Spoiler.
That's not
Spoiler.
Real. Don't listen. He's not telling the
Watch
truth.
this.
I feel like we're like getting into a cockfight right now. Like we should let these two just go at it. Cocks down is how he says.
I thought when Howie made his post,
cocks down.
I thought Howie liked it, so I was talking about it, and I made this post because I found this little GIF of this kid playing t-ball.
When I make fun of you using too much gladiator music, it's a positive comment.
He's like walking up to the base like this, like he's in slow motion, and then he slides, like everything's happening in real time, but he's like slow motion running to the base. It was a perfect GIF to describe.
Everything's epic.
Oh, that was pretty funny, actually.
It's like the Lego movie where everything's
not
awesome.
part of the movie. It's not a spoiler, Jen. Don't worry.
No. Everything's epic. Everything's epic.
Everything
it happens in slow motion. Everything's like a screensaver.
Speaking of epic, this has been quite the show. Huh?
Yeah. Do you like screensavers? The whole movie's like a screensaver. Every shot is like a screensaver, right? They're cool. Right? Yeah.
Oh my God.
You like everything? It's everything. It's everything. And then Jared Leto will show up.
Oh no.
And he's been eating like
Don't spoil it. She hasn't watched.
That was in the trailer.
I don't watch
She
trailers.
doesn't watch trailers.
Well, he's not in. He's not.
You don't watch the show, Howie? She doesn't watch trailers.
I thought
You
she
made
did
that clear.
Well, whose show
He's
was
not
that?
the Joker. He's just
I don't
Jared
watch
Leto.
trailers.
Yeah, it's just Jared Leto. It's from.
I just live in trailers.
It's Jared.
I'm going.
Leto.
Hey Howie, I'm going to the Kubert school tomorrow.
Nice. That's around.
Yeah,
me.
you want to meet up?
Where do you want to meet up at Blevins' house?
I'm not anywhere near there.
Oh,
Yes,
man.
we can't.
I would have had to take a flight. I was going to be there.
I'm gonna go do some. I'm gonna film a tour of the school and hang out with the owner, and we're gonna chat with him because today he got to do an interview with Todd McFarlane.
Toddy McFarlane.
Can you ask
cool.
Todd for my figure? That I can't do.
That's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna be like, if you get that exclusive, I'll be like,
Yeah,
boy,
Get
Howie,
Todd to get me that
looking for this,
exclusive.
You know,
You
And
know,
I'm gonna be like, Jen's from Texas, so he knows that. And you know,
he's from
Caleb
Arizona.
likes
He lives in
South
Arizona
Park.
next to him.
He likes South Park. You know, he thought it was funny.
They just announced a huge Comic-Con here in Arkansas, and I'm trying to get them to get Billy to come down. So if they get Billy to come down, I'll get to pay for Nile to come down, and all y'all can stay here at my house, and we can all have fun at the State House Convention Center. It'd be fun. Say what?
I'm down.
This sounds like a horror movie premise.
I'm trying to collect everything Billy Tucci, so I need a one of one.
Oh my god,
Billy.
that's scary.
Dude, you walk in and he's got like a life-size like action figure pack, and he's like, "Billy, I made your bed."
I
And I'm like,
finally
no.
have everything.
About that, Nile.
What?
There's nothing funny about that.
The way he just changed his face is super.
Yeah,
creepy.
it's got creepy.
That got me. That
It's
got
not
me.
done.
So now the crowdfunding scene's getting pretty crazy, huh, guys? Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder are now entering the realm of crowdfunding.
He's
It
gonna
doesn't
light
even
it up.
look like Greg Capullo because all the characters are smiling.
No, don't
It's very
even do.
creepy. Very
You know,
creepy.
don't even.
I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. Look, they're all
Yeah, but
smiling.
I don't even. Did
Dude,
you
he
guys
makes
read the
smiling
article?
figures.
Did you read the article?
Oh yeah.
Like what? I mean, what do we got here? What is this? I love the way he draws.
It's
though.
interesting.
Yeah, he's beautiful.
Yeah, it's different.
He's such a great guy too.
So is his artwork.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that's like a pastor who's raised his kid. I think it's kind of like. Did you guys see the movie Frailty?
I love that movie.
So
That's
it's
a great
kind of
movie.
like I think it's kind of like the movie Frailty, but in comic book form and with a girl that has a bionic arm.
Well, that's completely different than Frailty.
Well, I mean,
Wait,
am I crazy?
He goes around killing in the name of, basically in the name of Jesus.
Killing in the name of? Dun, 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 dun.
Her bionic
Is that a
arm
strike?
is
I
named
want to get a strike.
Jesus.
Oh no,
Let's
it's
not get a strike.
Yeah, because I was in a different note when I was
Okay.
doing that.
Killing in the
So we're
name.
It has to be Exacxes. So, yeah, luckily we're.
This
we're
is
safe.
like Frailty, except it's like not, but it's still Frailty.
Dude, look at these.
It is. The dad raised the daughter and her brother,
Right.
super religious.
Uh-huh.
And so she's out to kill the sinners.
Oh my.
Of course, that's what I get from it. It doesn't necessarily
Well,
say
it doesn't really tell us what the
Yeah, it
story is
doesn't
about.
Yeah.
You read a lot in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw this
reined it
on
in a lot.
Twitter. I saw this on Twitter.
Oh no, I follow his Instagram. He previews everything.
What it says? Look at those. It says God something.
Yeah, that's why I got the
Her
idea.
arm is God. I don't know. The God's arm.
God's arm.
She's
He's
using the
amazing,
hand
dude.
of God to destroy demons or something.
I will support anything he does.
I love his pen. I love his work, man. His pencils are incredible.
Yeah, that guy's okay though. They're okay. They're just sleeping.
Yeah. I wonder what it's about though. What was this? Todd McFarlane. Oh, Todd McFarlane aiding. That's pretty cool. Oh, because they're talking about the comments. Bleeding cool. Bleeding cool. Whatever. Bleeding cool.
Yeah,
It
man.
looks
I'm,
cool.
When
I'm
does that
glad-
launch?
I don't know. I saw. I think it's this year. It doesn't say in this, but
Yeah.
There
He hasn't
was
said anything.
something I saw. I think it's like it's supposed to be like towards the end of this year. This is supposed to launch. Like fourth
I'm
quarter.
ready.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Scott Snyder's writing, so I'll be.
Well, you know what
Keep
this
an
is
eye
a
out for that
sign of, right? You know what's going on here. This means that their contracts with DC are coming to an end.
Oh yeah. After
Yeah.
Death Metal. That's it. Yeah.
That's it. So they're going.
How many Batmans do you want to write anyway? I mean,
Yeah. I mean, they went really insane on the last one.
Yeah.
Where can you go?
I did like the Goblin King, the Rueben Goblin King. I really love that, and of course, who doesn't like the bat who laughs?
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
That was really good. I mean, no, they've done. I mean, they brought me back into comics. I mean, we tried to get Greg on the show. He doesn't like doing interviews at all. He doesn't like doing interviews.
He doesn't like me, is what he said.
He doesn't like, and he's been open about it. He just doesn't like, he says one thing, like he gives an honest opinion and he gets attacked.
He does that on Twitter too.
Just tell him Jennifer is on the show and maybe.
I was like, Greg, Ben's from Texas.
I'm so nervous that I'm gonna read a comic and you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, let's talk about this comic," and I'm gonna be like, "I fucking hate it." You're like, "Well, that guy's my best friend. He's gonna be on the show later today." And I'll be like, "Oh no."
We're gonna be like,
"That's the best part. That's the best part."
When we have somebody backstage that would like to talk to you about that.
Not everybody likes everything. We get it, but you just don't, and not Jen just doesn't like anything, so we know that much, right?
No,
that
she
makes
likes
me
the
feel
last
better.
Ronin.
I did like the last one. I
Ronin.
feel like it's the one. I'm gonna stand on that hill. I like one thing.
Speaking of, I got my turtle shirt on. Yeah.
What?
Nice.
Yeah. There you
Oh,
go.
he gave you the full screen for that.
Nice.
Well, we could go full screen and you could tell us about Snake Mountain and the Rancor and all that stuff.
Oh, right
all
back
the
there.
WWE figures and stuff.
Yeah, I got a shelf of my vintage figures. I got a WWE shelf, and there's my
Star Wars
above
card.
it my books. There's my original Rancor, and then below it is Luke Skywalker. There's a whole thing of Ghost,
his
the band
speeder.
Ghost. There's my Anakin shelf right above my head. It's a whole shelf of just Anakin Skywalker, and that's where I met Hayden Christensen. And then on the other side is Snake Mountain with a bunch of guys, and then there's some Dick Tracy over there.
Is that Scareglow? Is that Scareglow?
Yeah,
That's
my extra. I have 2 Scareglows. That's an extra.
Shut
Scareglow.
your face.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even have one Scareglow. Is that the retro or is that the old one?
That's the legit Scareglow.
Dude,
it glows in the dark.
I'm super jelly now.
Well,
don't threaten him with a good time.
Yeah.
I have 2 of them.
Oh my god, you got a slime pit too.
Yeah, I got the slime pit. Yeah.
Do you still have your little jar of slime?
I do not have a jar of slime. Slime ruined a bunch of Garfield books. I know that much. That slime was a terrible invention by the toy maker.
Hey, I think it's pretty impressive. I could tell what they were from here.
Yeah. Well, they're not mutilated.
I mean, that's why I brought him on. That's why he's our toy man.
He's the toy master.
I know Jen thought I was a hack fraud, but
I believed in you the whole time.
As soon as I saw those curtains, I believed.
I was kind of thrown into this.
I'm like,
hey, I was comfortable giving
oh, you're
toy
awesome.
news.
You can come in and talk about toys. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, here's the link.
Okay. Well, I got some. And I'll talk about them. I don't have I don't know. I thought it was an okay segment. It told people about the Ecto 1. Hopefully they go.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
I got a ram skull above me. It's a real dead ram skull.
Oh, nice.
Given to me by
I
mom.
killed it myself with these.
I'm an Aries, so that's why I have the skull of it. Well, my mom gave it to me. What am I supposed to do? I was like, hey, you know who else?
Your action figures.
Well, I put it with Hayden Christensen because we have the same birthday.
Oh,
yeah, we do. Yeah.
That's cute. You guys are like twins.
Cute. I wish.
It's adorable.
Here's my twin. He's a beautiful man.
What the fuck? What would you? That's weird.
What?
That's a weird.
I like him. What's the
I
matter?
think it was incredible in Jumper.
Jumper's awesome. He's great.
Jumper was a great movie.
Shattered Glass is great.
Dude, I watched Jumper a lot.
Right.
I like Jumper. It was one of the top. I wish they would have made a sequel and they didn't.
I wish there was a 4-hour Snyder
Grifter.
cut of Jumper. I'd watch the shit out of that. You know what I'm saying? Like a 4 hours. You know, Jumper would have been.
It'd all be gray and blue though, right?
Gray and blue and slow motion.
Ow, you cannot jump a house, bro.
I would like
jump a house.
I would like
I
epilogue.
think he's trying to jump a house.
I'd like an hour-long epilogue to every movie.
Well, did you watch Griffin's Story, the video game? Because that was what happened to Griffin after the movie was over.
No, I didn't play the video game.
It was pretty good.
That was probably back when I couldn't afford a lot of video games, though. That was like 20 years ago, right? I couldn't afford a lot of video games back in Brooklyn. I was trading in everything to survive. Because I think that was back when. I don't know. We got to figure out the timeline. I can judge things. If I lived in Brooklyn, I was paying for Chinese food with pennies, so I didn't have a lot of games.
Wow.
Starving artist. Right
Yeah,
there.
Right.
I
That's the
did
real
it.
deal.
I did it.
No,
Now he made it, and he collects.
Now I have
action
an extra scare glow. Boom.
Blevins is super jealous of.
Yeah, well, I still have my school loan, so you can make a deal. You pay off my school loan, maybe you'll get that scare glow.
Oh, don't threaten me with a good time.
Make it happen.
I feel like they're flirting, and we're just like in the middle of
When
it.
you got
I'll
the
do it.
glow, you got the glow, you got the
But
glow.
they're really
Yeah.
clicking, guys. We knew they'd get along. This is the greatest. Thanks for setting them up, Jen.
Me.
Thanks a lot, Jen.
Well, everyone, thank you all for tuning in. You can all thank Jen for that.
Thanks, Jen.
Thanks for joining us for
You're
another
welcome.
The Week in Pop, and we will see you all next week for another fun episode with another special guest.
See you guys
Have a
later.
wonderful night, everyone.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye.
Peace.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on POPXP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us at the POPXP and over on Instagram at the POPXP. Thanks again everyone, and we'll see you soon.